It is a gorgeous day at the Daytona State Softball Complex, and we are excited to bring you Daytona State College Softball as the Falcons today host the St. Johns River State College Vikings. Thrilled to have you along for the ride, everyone. Drew Felios joined by Will Dunn. Should be an awesome afternoon of softball, Will.
Drew, it's just a gorgeous day here in Daytona Beach. A little windy, as you can see there with the flags. I think any balls hit up on the right side in the air got a chance to carry. Anything on the left side's gonna fight that wind. But just a gorgeous day, and two teams looking for some wins. They both need them. St. Johns River's 2-8 in conference play, and the Falcons are 3-7. So both these teams would really like to get 2 wins today.
Yeah, the Vikings dropped their last 5 games. Daytona State split a series over the weekend against Seminole State College. There you take a look at the lineup for the Vikings, led by Kelsey Friend at the top of the order. She is only a freshman. Keep an eye on Selena Pizarris as well in the 3-hole. She has an offer to Rollins College. This is a very talented club.
Yeah, Pizarris is a really good hitter. I think she's second in the state with 12 home runs, leading the team in batting average. So obviously going to be a tough out.
In the circle for Daytona State, Tina Velasquez, 11-6 on the season. It's her 24th appearance, 79 innings on the year, 89 strikeouts for Tina. Not an overpowering pitcher, but tremendous placing the ball, and she has been the best for the Falcons this year.
Yeah, she spins it very nicely and generally has solid control. So when she's moving the ball and hitting her spot, she's tough to handle.
Underway from Daytona Beach as the first one taken outside by Kelsey Friend. And the first strike of the game as Friend swings away. Look at Tina Velasquez, and Coach Sabrina Manhart hopes to get 2, maybe 3 innings out of her today, but that is the plan for at least 2, possibly 3 pitchers to get it done for Daytona State here today. And that's a gorgeous pitch on the outside part of the plate, and the first batter rung up for the Falcons.
That's a great start for Velasquez. Friends coming into this game hitting 387 on the year, and Velasquez able to get her out in 3 pitches. So real solid start.
90th strikeout of the year for Tina Velasquez, as now Morgan Scala stands in. So freshman here to start, and hit by a pitch. That time is Scala, and that's something that is not uncommon for St. Johns River, as they have had 22 players, now 23 hit by a pitch this season. There's the defense for the Falcons.
Yeah, Drew, they're coached by Jill Cemento, and real gritty player herself when she was coming up. Central Florida kid, played travel ball here locally in the district, and went off to University of South Carolina for her first 2 years, and then played her junior and senior year at Stetson, and was a contributor all 4 years in college. Just a solid, gritty player, and I think her team's going to reflect that.
Take a look at the lineup for Daytona State. Arcia at third, Lexi Shaw, the first baseman, Carly Beard also behind the plate.
So here's the 3-hole. Dangerous hitter.
This one hit hard to the third baseman and played well. Get 1 at second base, so a good job by Kelsey Friend over there to make the play, and there's 1 away.
It's a good fielder's choice there at third by Daytona. Nice play.
Yeah,
got the lead out.
Tomberlin, actually, the third baseman for Daytona State.
Alicia made a nice play there. I think they'll take Selena on first all day long.
Have to mention another stiff wind. You see it blowing from left to right, Will. And the last time we were here, we had a big-time wind here on campus, and the same thing here a month later.
Yeah, the windy days can be tough. The fences are at 220, so you're going to have to earn it to get it out of there. But it's going to be I think a gap-to-gap day for sure.
Big swing by Nunez. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nunez coming into this game hitting 367 on the year, so she's been very successful.
One and two still the count to Selena Nunez. And a big pitch there. Velasquez off to the good start. Nunez down swinging. And Daytona State now can swing the bats themselves. So through a half inning. And St. John's River State kept off the scoreboard. Falcons will have their first at bat in just a moment. Welcome back to Daytona State College. Falcons now take their turn at bat. Maya Maddox, top of the order, to lead things off for Daytona State. Last time we were here, Maya was hitting in the 9-hole, but she has worked her way up now to the top of the order. And Maddox, of course, leading off today.
Yeah, she's done a good job for Coach Manhart and the group. And so I think she's earned that spot, and she's gotten a little comfortable there. So we'll see what she can do today for the Falcons.
Yeah, getting on base, doing the things that Coach Manhart wants her to do. Ariel McCullough, the starting pitcher today for St. John's River State. And there's a strike on the outside part of the plate. You can kind of see our home plate umpire likes that outside corner here so far.
Yep, he likes it, certainly on the left-handed hitter so far. Maddox coming in this game hitting 348 with at a 435 on base percentage.
Takes one outside that time. She's a player that not only comes to practice, she stays late, does the little things to improve her game each and every time out. They love her work rate this year. She slaps that one down the left field line. It's just foul.
She's a hard worker and kind of one of those kids that's crafty. She does work at her skill and kind of has a knack of getting on. And I think her on-base percentage is kind of alludes to that as well.
Takes one high that time, a good eye. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Maya Maddox. Sammy Pullman is on deck for Daytona State. The drums are out here on this gorgeous Tuesday. Swung away, and this one will drift foul as well. So Daytona State tied for 5th place in the conference right now with Jacksonville. Every single conference game huge from here on out. McCullough delivers again. This one is hit hard and into the right field gap. And digging it out is Maya Maddox for the first base hit of the game for Daytona State.
Nice placement on that ball. I think the ball had eyes on it just to get through the infield, but a good job by Maya there.
Great at-bat for Maddox. And that is so important, Will, to work it, foul a few balls off, take a few balls, and then get a base hit. That's demoralizing to the pitcher, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't mind running that pitch count up if they get a chance.
Sammy Pullman now. Maddox tries to steal, and she is in safely. She'll dig for third and has a shot to score here. Daytona State on the board off of the throwing error from the Vikings, and it's 1-0.
Kind of see a little bit of that craftiness there on the stolen base, and then the wherewithal to get up and advanced and coach center from third, and was able to make it in. The center fielder kind of got handcuffed on that. The ball got through the infield and then took a bad hop for her. So good bit of fortune there for the Falcons.
1-1 now to Sammy Pullman. This is the tough part of the Daytona State order. You got Pullman with a .412 average, then Carly Beard on deck at .435, and Beard has been swinging a mean stick over the last few games.
Yeah, both of these have been tough outs, so Pullman's really grown since she got here as a walk-on last year. Came as a walk-on and earned a scholarship, and certainly one of the leaders on this team in terms of her ability to play and put some numbers up.
Out of Seabreeze High School. Takes another one there, 2-2 now to Sammy Pullman.
Drew McCullough comes in here with 120 plus innings pitched out of their 257 on the year, so she's got a large percentage of their innings pitched.
That one low and away. And now 3-2. Team just have a feel right now that Daytona State has come to play here today. Team has learned a lot of lessons this season. It's been a season of growth for the Falcons, and the better days certainly ahead. Remember last time we were here, it was an unfortunate game for Daytona State, falling 13-1 to Indian River, but they came right back, Will, in the next game and won 6-3. So certainly this team has tons of fight.
This team is very capable, Drew. I think what Coach Manhart and her staff are searching for is that consistency, that they're more consistent each game, because they're certainly talented.
How about Pullman right up the gut for another base hit? So 2 have come to the plate, and 2 early base hits for the Falcons.
Another good piece of hitting there by Sammy Pullman, just getting square with the ball and hitting it right back up the middle. Pitcher couldn't make the play on it, and finds herself on first base.
And Carly Beard, 2 big home runs over the weekend for the Falcons in that series with Seminole State. Here she is, swinging a lethal bat right now, takes ball 1, and I guarantee you McCullough does not want to give her anything great to hit. Runner goes, and right now you just get the sense the Falcons could have a very active day on the base pass.
Yeah, very aggressive. Trying to work that count.
Runner scoring position now for Beard. Really
Carly
like
just
the
wants
start.
to hit something hard here.
And she does. Up the middle, same spot. See if Pullman tries to score. She will, and she is in. It's 2-0. Over to second is Beard, and the Falcons have come out smoking.
Another good piece of hitting, Drew, and Carly not trying to do too much with that pitch, but hit it where it's pitched, get the ball in play.
There you see Coach Manhart. Says embrace the process. Former player at Daytona State. Says it's not about making the lineup every day. It's about making better people. Had a chance to speak with her earlier today. And she has really had one of those seasons where, you know, you have to probably coach a little bit more and put pieces together probably more than other seasons will, but it's made her better as a coach, and her players are certainly responding here late in the year.
Yeah, the game part is the fun part of coaching. That's why the coaches sign up for it. But the really good coaches are able to work on the student development piece and help these young people grow up in their 2 years and move on to that next stop with a college degree and a good student experience in their sport. So that's really what it's all about, and just have to work that every day.
Alicia Tomberlin now, the UCF recruit, standing in for Daytona State. Tomberlin headed to UCF out of Haggerty High School, a 4.0 GPA. Oh, takes a big swing, and if she could straighten that out, Falcons are going to be able to run forever on the base pass.
It was a good swing, good pass at the ball. Just wasn't quite able to get her hands inside that ball enough to keep it fair. But a good pitch by McCullough as well. So got a little battle going here.
Hit hard to the shortstop, and they'll be able to make the play. So Tomberlin retired at first, and the runner Beard stays at second. That's a very important first out for St. John's River.
Yeah, they needed that, and a good play by the shortstop, looking the runner back to second, and then getting the throw over to first in time for the out. Good play.
Take a look at the defense for St. John's River State. In the outfield, Friend, Nielsen, and Valenta. Nunez behind the plate, Rosenbaum at third, Stone the shortstop, Scala at second, and McCarl at first. So foul ball. Harper Robinson.
I think she just popped out there to the third baseman in foul territory. Second out.
There is two away.
Brings up Demisha Charles.
Oh, nice changeup that time. And strike one.
McCullough trying to limit the damage here for the Vikings. Pretty good pitch there, just a little low.
Demisha Charles out of the Netherlands. A little bit dinged up coming into today, battling an injury. She was involved in a bit of a nasty collision over the weekend at second base, and Coach Manhart was concerned that she may not be able to play today. So obviously, good job by Demisha, just getting ready to get on the field, help her team.
Yeah, it is, and gritty player, and certainly someone they need in the lineup.
It's this one high in the air, and it'll be retired as Nielsen comes in to make the catch for St. John's River State. 2 runs on the board for the Falcons. It's a 2-0 game after 1 inning. You're watching the Falcons Athletic Network. Welcome back to Daytona State College. Here you take a look at Jill Cemento, once a very crafty player herself. I mentioned the athletes for St. John's River State being very crafty in the batter's box. She's a big reason why.
Yeah, certainly, Jill, I think she's in her third year there at St. John's River, and she's worked with these kids real hard, and I think their grittiness and determination and spirit reflects how she was as a player.
Megan Stone lines one into center field. It'll be a leadoff base hit. Riley Gore comes in to play it for the Falcons. Notice, too, about the St. John's River State lineup. Every single player, 1 through 9, has over a 3.0 GPA. That is getting it done in the classroom.
Yes, it is. Very impressive.
Here's Reagan McCarl. Takes one high for ball 1. Big swing there for a strike. St. John's River State College, they lost 2 last weekend to the Florida State College of Jacksonville. The first one 9-0. Second game by just 1 run, 10-9. So turned it around in the second part as the runner goes down to second. And the ball will skip past, but Gore right there to back it up for the Falcons.
Good play there by the Vikings, able to advance the base on the ball in the dirt.
Reagan McCarl, only a freshman, takes one outside as the pitchers continue to work that corner. Foul ball, and it'll be a 3-2 count.
See what Coach Cemento puts on. Full count, runner on second. So she trusts her to bunt or lets her swing away here.
Big pitch from Tina Velasquez. Shows bunt, pulls back, and it's ball 4.
So a walk to McCarl. Runners on first and second. See how these free passes balance out as we move through the game. Hit by pitch last inning and a walk this inning.
Square around, showed bunt, and now Ariel McCullough stands in against Tina Velasquez. So pitcher on pitcher here. McCullough has a chance to help her own cause.
Yes, she does, and I'm sure it's in the back of her mind as well to see if I can get a run or 2 back this inning.
Square around, lay it down. Good play by the first baseman and taken care of. Good job by the Falcons that time. It was Morgan Arcia coming up from first base to make that play.
Yeah, nice play on the ball on the dirt, and Demisha Charles covered up over there good. But the Vikings do advance the runners to second and third with 1 out. So let's see how they play this, Drew.
Alyssa Rosenbaum, the batter. And Demisha Charles will usually playing shortstop for Daytona State, moving over to second base here today as you get a look at Rosenbaum, the sophomore. Ball put in play this time. 1 run will come in. It's a successful sacrifice bunt for the Vikings.
Actually had the squeeze on. Daytona was not able to get the out at first. So I think you can see Coach Cemento there saying, hey, we're going to do what we can do to scrap and claw and get a run back for the Vikings. So no out made on the play by the Falcons, so runners on first and third with a run across, still 1 out.
Oh, when that play is executed right, there's really no way to stop it.
No. If you're going to make a play, you're going to have to get to that ball and make the play at first.
So Falcons defense being tested, 1 away here in the top of the second. And Jamie Valenta now stands in. Runners on first and third for the Vikings. This ball sent down to third and it'll roll foul. Valenta, the starting right fielder today for St. John's River State. And this ball gets away, but the Vikings will hold at third. Now second and third, though, as the runner at first advances.
Probably a good call by Coach Cemento. No need to risk getting an out at the plate at this point.
One for Velasquez, and this is hit hard to first. Good reaction by Arcia, and there's 2 away. Another big out for Daytona State.
Good contact on the hit, but good defensive play by Arcia at first. Gets the Falcons an important second out with both runners in scoring position here, Drew.
Top of the order for the Vikings. It's Friend with her second time up here. Struck out last time she came to the plate. Good chance for a couple RBIs here. Good contact, but foul.
Trying to hit that ball down hard on the ground. See if she can make a play for her offense.
Kelsey with a 3.6 GPA. Oh, what a pitch that time by Velasquez.
Really, really nice changeup, and certainly threw Friend off. You could tell by her footwork.
Velasquez needs one more pitch to get her team to the dugout. Can she pull the string here? Got her outside part of the plate.
That's a big pitch and a big out for the Falcons, Drew.
Certainly is, as the Vikings will strand 2, and Daytona State keeps the lead as they come up in the bottom of the second. You're watching Daytona State softball on the Falcons Athletic Network. Daytona State with a 2-1 lead over St. John's River State. Great to have you with us, Drew Felios and Will Dunn, on a gorgeous Chamber of Commerce weather day here in Daytona Beach. Falcons coming up now as Number 4 takes to the plate Riley Gore.
Riley Gore, important piece of the puzzle for the Falcons, sophomore outfielder, very talented young lady.
Takes one high that time. Yeah, Gore's one of those players that she'll have moments, Will, where scouts, college coaches at the next level will kind of just look at each other and be like, whoa, he's got tons of potential.
Tons of potential, very skilled and talented. Again, I think like a lot of what the coaches for the Falcons are working with these young ladies this year, just looking for more consistency. There's no question about the talent and their capability. For instance, with Riley Gore, I mean, she's capable of going on a streak that, you know, is head turning.
Hit right back to the pitcher, and McCullough will take care of this one over to first for the first out. You know, Will, you've been around sports a long time. You talk about consistency. How do you get consistent? Is it about establishing good habits, study-wise, athletic-wise, making adjustments whenever appropriate?
It's all of that, and I think the biggest part for these young folks is just getting them to buy in and trust the process with their teammates and their coaches, embrace their roles, whatever those roles may be, and do your very best at that, and that's gonna help you be consistent.
Getting a piece to shortstop and thrown out at first. Morgan Arcia retired, and a quick 2 outs for the Falcons. Yeah, it's been tough for Daytona State this year because of just the amount of injuries. We've talked about players like Miranda Green, but Sydney Chester, losing her was absolutely huge for this team, wasn't it?
Yeah, the injuries are a tough part of this thing, but it's certainly part of it, and adversity's part of life, and playing a college sport is certainly preparing these youngsters for life after college, and so for the students that are dealing with the injuries, and then the ones that have to step up, it's all a part of how do you make it work, you know, when the chips are down. So they're all getting tested in different ways this year. So, but they're still in it, and they have a chance, and they're positive about it. So kudos to the coaches and the students.
Taking one outside for ball 1. You know, what you just said is huge, because what tests you and defines what type of player you are and person you are is not how you are when things are good. No. It's when things are tough, how
Absolutely.
You respond.
And you know, you're going to face adversity. It's just a matter of when. So you have to be prepared for that. It's not always going to go your way. And, you know, the players, the students, the coaches, the team that handles that adversity the best is going to be in the best place to win those games or be successful, because they're going to grind through whatever those obstacles are and work together as a team and a unit to be successful.
Molly Hughes from Boynton Beach, Florida, Park Vista High School. Played travel ball with Riley Gore, as well as Jessica Clark, 2 other Falcons on the roster. Gore having a good year. Hughes swinging away there to foul this one off. Last year, Molly, though, was strictly a base runner, and this year swung the bat a lot better and is now getting a lot of times up at the plate as her teammates rooting her on here.
Yeah, she's hitting in the 9-hole today for Coach Manhart, and
had to wait on that one and placed it into left field. What a good, patient piece of hitting.
Tell you what, a coach doesn't like to see anything more than their 9-hole turn the lineup over, and that was a good job by Molly right there.
Because Maya Maddox comes up now, and she has been a terror lately for opposing pitchers, and she got a base hitter last time up. Maddox really got things going last time at bat, able to score a run. The heads-up play when the ball sailed into center field, and she's got great speed on the base pass, doesn't she?
Really good wheels, and as you saw in that first inning when she stole the base, very headsy player, savvy when the ball got past the infield. She got right up and went and was able to get all the way around and score, which isn't easy to do.
Molly Hughes on first. Maddox at the plate with 2 outs. 0-2 count to Maya here.
See what McCullough does in the plus count here with Maddox.
Maddox able to hang in. Daytona State trying to get on a hot streak here. Best stretch of the season. Probably that March 7th day whenever they took on Willis State and Lincoln Land. They won by a combined score, those two teams, 18-0 on that day. Coach Manhart says it's been a tough one to duplicate, and another pitch called that looked like it was down and away, but umpires have been consistent here this afternoon, and Maddox is retired.
Home plate umpire really likes the river when he's sitting in that slot on the left-handed batters. Those pitches that are what we call the river between the plate and the chalk on the batter's box on the other side of the batter. He's been consistent making that call, and if I'm the pitcher, I'm throwing it there.
Welcome back to Daytona Beach. Drew Felios with Will Dunn, and a new pitcher coming in for Daytona State. Had a feeling Tina Velasquez was only going to go about 2 innings, and that is the case today. Coach Manhart now making the change, and here's Chloe Anna Smith, the freshman from Johnson City, Tennessee. And she is one of those pitchers that possesses a lethal drop ball. We're going to see that on many instances here today.
Yeah, really good drop ball, and again, when kind of the same common thread, when they're hitting their spots, they're really, really tough to handle.
Hit hard but foul. It's got to be very challenging, though, Will, for a freshman with not nearly as many innings as Velasquez has to come into a game only in the 3rd inning. Your team only has a 1-run lead. You're right in the heat of battle, and you've got to come in and shut the door.
Yeah, I think it can be a challenge, but I think this pitching staff probably knew coming into this game that it was going to be pitched by committee. So it's not as though it was unanticipated change. So I think that might mitigate some of the anxiousness since you knew what was going to be, but you still got to come in and do your job and make the plays.
One ball, 2 strikes now. Morgan Scala standing in for the Vikings. Second time through the order. She gets a hold of one and right at the left fielder. Great catch made by Sammy Pullman. Did not have to move much, though, and there's one away.
That ball was squared up nice, hit right on the button, but good fortune for the Falcons that fielders were in the right spot. Good catch of the line drive there in left field for out number 1.
Here's the big stick in the lineup now for the Vikings. Selena Bizares, the sophomore. She gets a good hold of one, and this one is in the gap. At the wall, it takes a hop, toss it to second base, and in with a stand-up double is Bizares.
Well, all the numbers on their stats sheet say she's the one that you got to be careful with, and she hit that one, squirted up nicely in the gap in left center and got to the fence for a double.
The two Selenas in the 3 and 4 holes. Selena Bizares, and now here's Selena Nunez. 336 average for Nunez. Behind the plate here today. Trying to advance the runner, and this one's foul. See a lot of speed at the top of both of these lineups. I'm surprised in the couple games that had a chance to work here, Will, that have not seen more of the little poke just to kind of make the defense work. Not that I don't like swinging away, but certainly it could easily be a weapon with the athleticism of some of these players.
Absolutely. Good speed, good athletes, good hard infield to work the craft of that short game.
Swung on this time and fouled to the right.
So Chloe Ann's ahead in the count here. See how it turns out. That's why Coach Cemento probably with under 2 strikes had the buntle until before that. I want to get a ball in play and try to advance that runner. If you're the Vikings and if you're the Falcons, you want to get it out and keep that runner on second.
One away here, top of the 3rd. Chloe Anna Smith delivering, and it's hit hard again. The left fielder in position, and Pullman getting a workout out there right now, but retires 2, and there's 2 down.
Another solid hit, but good positioning and play by the Falcons defense. Was able to get that second out.
Megan Stone now. Oh, nice pitch that time.
Really nice, and it's nice to see them get ahead in the count. If it's your team, you don't want to be behind in the count. You don't want to be giving up free bases. I know what the overall numbers say, but I would say the team that gives up the fewest free passes is going to have the higher percentage of winning the games.
Oh, without question. Oh, nice pitch there. So Chloe Anna Smith looks like she is really settling in. And now 1 pitch away from getting her team into the dugout in her first inning of work.
We'll say she did come in the game in a spot where she facing the fat of the lineup for the Vikings, so.
Struck her out. Chloe Anna Smith does her job.
Did a really nice job. Give up a leadoff double, and then find a way to get out. 2 line drives to left field and then a strikeout. It's a good job by Chloe Ann.
Through 2.5 innings, Daytona State still with a 2-1 lead. Daytona State softball complex, 2-1 your score. St. John's River State taking on the Falcons. And now Sammy Pullman to lead off the bottom of the third. Over 400 average for Sammy, just having a fabulous year. Sophomore out of Ormond Beach. And a great natural swing.
Really impressed by the way she's played this year. And certainly dangerous.
Puts this one in play, but first baseman right there to tag her out. McCarl there to make the defensive play, and there's one away.
I think Sammy'd like to have that one back.
Now Carly Beard.
Well, I tell you, that's a quality pitch. If I'm either pitching coach, I'm going to live there today because he's calling those pitches in the river all day long.
Hit hard to the right side and foul. Carly went to University High School, had a great year last season behind the plate, threw out 13 kids trying to steal. Saw a sample of her arm strength. I know the last time we had a chance to do a game. Really keeps everybody honest on the base pass.
Yeah, she's a real key component to this team, Drew.
How important is it, because your daughter was a tremendous pitcher herself, to have the right person behind the plate? How huge is it?
It's unbelievably huge. You know, I would say a quality catcher gets every bit of half the strikeouts that a pitcher gets, framing the pitch and working behind the plate. And it's a tough job, but you can see the good ones real quick, and they certainly make their pitchers look good. So can't do it with just a good pitcher. You got to have a battery.
Hit to the second baseman, and Scala makes the play. And there's two away. So first two retired for Daytona State. And that's going to bring up Alicia Tomberlin now, her second at bat.
The way this umpire's calling the outside pitches, and he's calling them both ways. It's going to be interesting to see which team can cut the plate in half and make an adjustment on that outside pitch in the river, because if you're standing in the middle of the box, you're not going to be able to hit that pitch solid. So somebody's going to have to make an adjustment, or the ground ball out that we just saw is going to be commonplace.
Alicia Tomberlin dealt with a knee injury at the start of the year. Another Haggerty High School star. This program has recruited so many of them in the past.
She's done some catching too for Coach Manhart, and most recently been at third.
Just lays the bat out there that time. This one drifting on the right side, and it's caught by Valenta to end the inning for Daytona State. So a 1-2-3 inning, and we've played three here on the East Coast. 2-1 your score. We head to the fourth, coming up next on the Falcons Athletics Network. 3 innings in the books. And great to have you with us from Daytona Beach. Drew Felios and Will Dunn, the Falcons, in the field once again to start the top of the 4th. And St. John's River State now coming up. Reagan McCarl leads it off. She walked in her first at-bat, and we'll get a piece of this one. Good play made that time as Demisha Charles drifts over to her left, and a nice glove for the first out.
Yeah, really good play. Ball was hit fairly well. Charles made the play going to her left and just tossed it to first for a good out.
Second inning of work for Chloe Anna Smith after she took over for Tina Velasquez in the 3rd inning. And Will, it's been interesting to watch how these batters have worked throughout the day so far. Early on, our home plate umpire calling a lot of strikes on the outside part of the plate. Our pitchers have realized it, and they are really attacking that spot. And over the last few innings, the hitters having a hard time adjusting.
Yeah, we talked about this off the air, but I think it's going to be which team. The pitchers and the coaches recognize that pitch is being called in the river outside on the hitters. And I haven't really seen the hitters adjust to that yet in terms of getting up on the plate and being able to reach that pitch.
Ariel McCullough hits it to the right side. Play possible at first, and just in time, McCullough able to beat out the throw. Good effort by Maya Maddox and right.
It was a nice play, but give McCullough credit. That pitch was in the river, and she kept her hands inside the ball and kept the ball fair in the 3-4 hole and was able to beat that out at first. Good play both ways.
Alyssa Rosenbaum, she was able to execute that squeeze last time she was up.
See what Coach Cemento does with the runner on first here.
Oh, swing that time. And a miss. It's 0-2.
Chloe Ann threw a quality drop ball there on that count.
Have a feeling we could see a few more of those, Will, here with 1 out. And right back at Smith. She'll get the lead run at second, and the force play made. Good heads-up play by the freshman.
Yeah, it was a good defensive play, keeping the ball in front of her, then recognizing she had time to get the force out on the lead runner at second. So good defensive play.
Brings up Jamie Valenta now. You know, Will, I really like the demeanor so far that we've seen from Chloe Anna Smith. Last time we saw her a month ago, she came into the game, seemed maybe just a little overwhelmed at times, but just her body language, the big smile on the face, having fun. And I like the vibe right now she's giving to her team.
Yes. She's throwing quality pitches, and she's kind of settled into the game, letting her infield and defense work for her, which is what a drop ball pitcher will do. And they're moving through the lineup, so it's...
This one's hit into left field for a base hit. So first and second now with 2 down. And a good piece of hitting that time by Valenta to kind of just gut that one out.
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to hit the ball, get it in the 5-6 hole. Good job at the plate. She hit a pretty good pitch, too.
Try and bunt. And right into the catcher's mitt for strike 1. Top of the order, Kelsey Friend standing in for St. John's River State. Big moment here in this game. If Chloe Anna Smith can get the Falcons to the dugout here, it'll be huge. Put in play to the shortstop. Charles over to first and safe. It was actually Robertson made that play. And now everybody is loaded up with 2 away.
It's a good piece of hitting, and Robertson couldn't quite get it quick enough and transfer the throw over to first for the out.
Biggest moment of this game, Morgan Scala now with the bases loaded. And Chloe Anna Smith trying to keep her composure here with 2 down. If you are Chloe, what are you thinking about right now? Her team and Coach Manhart sense that she's thinking a little and take a timeout just to settle her down.
Yeah, I think Coach Manhart wants to make sure they're all on the same page. They know what they're going to do defensively, and they want to make sure pitching-wise that they answer the call right here, because they certainly don't want to get to who's on deck for the Vikings. Selena Bazar is leading the team in hitting and home runs, and I think Coach Manhart recognizes they need to do something here with this batter and make a play. This will be a key point in the game right here, Drew.
Good piece of coaching there by Sabrina. See if the timeout pays dividends. So Scala now for the Vikings, and as you said, Will Bazaris on deck. That's the player they do not want to face here. Got to get this one. Smith will dig in. And hit by a pitch. And that's going to bring in a run for the Vikings. And Bazaris will come to the plate with 2 outs.
Second time today that Morgan's been hit by a pitch.
And that's the 24th player hit by a pitch, and she was not moving anywhere.
No, and that ball was clearly in the batter's box.
That's what you call wearing one for your team.
But she did her job. So the Falcons find themselves in the position they really didn't want to be in. Game's tied up, 2 outs, bases loaded, and the Vikings' best hitter coming to the plate.
And we'll have a new pitcher now for Daytona State. Michelle Moore will enter the game for the Falcons to see if she can get this hitter here, the most important one in Bazaris. So you're going to see a lot more heat coming from number 13 for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely going to see a different look. But Michelle's going to need to be smart and pick her spots with this at bat and try to get ahead in the count and work off the edges. Cannot put anything down the middle with this batter.
Bazaris had that big stand-up double her last time up. Luckily for Daytona State, nobody was on base. Not the case here.
No, bases are full, so she really can be kind of picky. There's no need for her to be too jittery and jumpy at the pitches. She can try to get herself into a good hitter's count and find a pitch that she wants to sit on. Likewise, Michelle Moore needs to try to find a way to get ahead in this count.
Swings at the first pitch, and an easy play for Tomberlin as she digs it out of the clay and then steps on third. So Daytona State gets a break, and Will, you said she needed to be patient, maybe swung a little quick that time.
Yeah, I don't, she liked the pitch, and it certainly was not on the edge of the plate, but she just didn't square it up and really get it like she wanted to. I'm sure Coach Cemento's not upset with her because she trusts her, but I think she probably could have been a little more patient there. Certainly a good play by Tomberlin at third, and an important out in this game.
2-2 your score through 3.5 in Daytona. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Daytona State Softball Complex. Drew Felios and Will Dunn. And Daytona State with Harper Robertson at the plate. Popped out her last time up.
Daytona's got to find a way just to get some runners on and pass the bat down the line and see what they can do.
Harper gets a piece. That's going to be a tough play, but nice job by the infield of the Vikings as Scala came over to take care of things.
I think that was a oops swing by Harper. She kind of thought she liked it and then didn't, and the ball ends up in play, and Vikings get a pretty easy out there.
Here's Demisha Charles, the second baseman.
That was a pretty good pitch there. He didn't get the call, and I think Demisha was being patient.
Now 2-0. Ariel McCullough still working for the Vikings. Meanwhile, Demisha Charles, injured coming into today, gutting this one out. Telling Coach Manhart, I want to be in the lineup. Involved in a collision over the weekend, and the Dutch national team player had to recoup quick. Been through some highs and lows this year defensively, but again, as we said earlier, it's those tough times where you got to dig deep and grow, and guarantee it, Demisha has learned a lot about herself this year.
There's no doubt about it. Very, very talented athlete, skilled player, but certainly has had to find some ways to grow.
Rosenbaum makes the play, and there's 2 away.
That was a nice quality play at third. I think Demisha would probably like to have that back as well. But a good quality pitch by McCullough getting the out.
So Daytona State making noise in the first inning, but since then, bat's been a little quiet for the Falcons.
Yeah, McCullough's rebounded nicely since that first inning, giving up several hits, and then they had that defensive error that allowed the run to score.
So here's Riley Gore with 2 down. Riley over 300 hitting this year, taking one high. Riley Gore actually tried out for the junior national team, turned a lot of heads. Didn't make the team, but was just a great experience for her. Starting center fielder last year. She's had to play some infield this year, move around and plug some of those holes. It's made her better, and she is back playing in her natural position, center field, today.
Again, another very talented athlete and softball player. I think she's hit 4 home runs too this year, Drew. So she's capable.
Kayla Dalton on the drums right now for Daytona State. She has been beaten away all afternoon long as a strike delivered there, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes. I love that constant sound that kind of keeps the dugout moving.
A lot of energy. They're involved in the game.
Swing away. This one playable. And the catch made by the second baseman, Scala. And another 1-2-3 inning for Daytona State. So 4 innings in the books. Right now, these 2 teams deadlocked at 2. You're watching Daytona State softball on the Falcons Athletic Network. Welcome to the 5th inning here at Daytona State College. It's the Falcons and the Vikings today on the Falcons Athletics Network. And for St. John's River State, Selena Nunez leads off the top of the 5th inning. Michelle Moore in the circle for Daytona State. That's only the 2nd pitch she has thrown today. She came in relief of Chloe Anna Smith in the last inning, and a key moment in this game faced Selena Pizarro, the top hitter for the Vikings. Pizarro swings on the first pitch. Daytona State gets a break. No further damage done, and right now we're deadlocked, Will, at 2 apiece.
Really good game. Vikings have 2 runs on 6 hits. They do have an error, in the Falcons 2 runs on 4 hits. Very evenly matched game so far.
Daytona State 10-6 this season at home. As you would expect, playing much better at home than on the away side. Only 5-8 in away games. 2-3 in neutral sites. That's a ball delivered just a little bit high. And right now it's 3-1. Michelle Moore out of Germantown, Wisconsin. Sophomore dealing for the Falcons. Good pitch there for strike 2 and a full count. Delivery, Will, a little bit unorthodox from number 13.
Yeah, she's got a little hitch in it, but you know, there's so many different deliveries. And
this ball is lifted to the outfield. The wind playing a factor there, but Riley Gore, with that speed, comes over to make the grab.
Michelle doing a good job, not giving up the free base, making her put the ball in play. That's her cleanup hitter that hit that ball, hit it a long ways. I think we mentioned earlier these fences are at 220. And Riley caught that ball near the warning track, so a lot of fields that ball would have been out of the park. But Michelle Moore been working.
That's going to be the first base hit off Moore as Megan Stone puts it through the middle. And the Vikings have the leadoff, or the lead runner aboard, I should say.
That was a good clean hit up the middle. Brings up McCarl for the Vikings.
So the go-ahead run on first base. McCarl with a walk and a ground out today. McCarl, only a freshman. Runner goes, throw to second. And ball gets away that time. Good throw by Beard, but a little late getting there was Robertson.
Yeah, a little late getting to the bag. Throw looked good. I don't know if it would have been on time. But a good steal by the Vikings. I think you can see that aggressiveness that Coach Cemento is going to have her team play with.
Oh, jammed her that time. Throw over to third now. And another stolen base. So the go-ahead run now at third with no outs. One out, rather. One away. See where Moore tries to attack here. McCarl tries to lay it down. And that one's foul. She is going to be retired for the second out. A little surprised she tried that.
They tried a little suicide squeeze again. Coach Cemento sent the runner. But McCarl couldn't keep the ball in fair territory, so she's out on that bunt attempt that went foul on the third strike.
So now it's Ariel McCullough, who's been in the circle from the start for St. John's River State. Remember, 3 different pitchers for Daytona State. It's been all Ariel for the Vikings, so you know how badly she wants to get that run at third in.
I'm sure she'd like to help herself here and get this run across.
McCullough got a piece of it. Robertson to play it over to first, and in time, Daytona State, the defense comes up big once again.
Yeah. McCullough would have liked to get that run across, and Michelle Moore had other ideas. She wanted to get her team back to the dugout with a even score. So good game here, Drew.
Coach Cemento says, my bad. I think maybe second-guessing that sacrifice squeeze attempt by the Vikings. Still deadlocked at 2 through 4.5 here at Daytona State. Hope you're enjoying it on WDSC TV, Daytona State and St. John's River State. From Daytona State College, Drew Felios and Will Dunn. This is Morgan Arcia, bottom of the order for the Falcons here in the bottom of the 5th. Daytona State, if you're just joining us, got 2 runs in the first inning, but have been kept scoreless since. And one of the biggest reasons, McCullough has been doing the job, but this one hit to left field. Kelsey Friend comes over to make the catch, and a quick one out for the Falcons.
That was a ball well hit in the gap, but hung up, and St. John's was able to make the catch for the first out. 2 pitches in and out. Boy, McCullough has been very efficient since the first inning.
Molly Hughes now. Hughes had a base hit her first time up. Keep in mind the wind has been blowing in big time on the left side for the entire day, and really that has taken away a lot of the power. We've saw one shot that was a one-hopper to the wall from Selena Bazaris, but those warning tracks have not been threatened, and still it has been consistent from the start.
Yeah, it's very, very blustery out there, and it's going to be hard to get a ball out. You know, the wind and the fences being at 220, it's going to really take a shot to get out. That's why I say I think the gap game and the short game today could be what could make a difference for one of these teams.
Hit hard and in a good spot right behind the second baseman. Scala drifting back, could not get to it. And once again, how about Molly Hughes? 2 for 2 today, turning the lineup over.
Bit of good fortune for the Falcons. Swings at a ball up by her eyes. And I think the ball had eyes because it found its way in that triangle. And I think the Falcons will take it.
Likely to be a base hit, too. So 2 base hits for Hughes, and now Maya Maddox comes to the plate. Maddox, a base hit and a strikeout for Daytona State.
I think Coach Manhart and her staff would really like to see Maya get a ball in play and maybe beat something out.
How important is patience right here for the Falcons? Again, situational hitting late in games.
Yeah, got to be patient, try to work the count, but if you get a pitch you can handle, you got to get it in play.
Maya puts it in play. A great job. She'll sprint to first, and everybody's safe.
Great play there by Maddox.
Oh, she is fun to watch.
Really good placement of that ball.
Call it an infield hit for Maddox. And now Sammy Pullman with her .412 average coming into today. Grounded out her last time up, but a base hit in her first at-bat.
I know Sammy'd really like to square something up here, get something in a gap, something through the infield. But McCullough doing her job right away, getting ahead in the count.
Dugout alive and well for the Falcons. Nice crowd on hand here today. This one's low. Runner will try and advance to third. Tough play, and everybody is safe again. A double steal pulled off because of the bobble by the catcher Nunez.
Yeah, good heads-up play there. So with 1 out, that advances both the runners on base in the scoring position. Sammy's, she can just work the count, get the pitch she's looking for.
Oh, strike on the outside corner.
That's a tough pitch to handle right there. It's another that pitch in the river. And he's been calling it consistently. Interesting to see if she goes back there or goes inside. I think Sammy's going to be looking away.
Pullman puts it in play to the left fielder. Expect a tag up here. Falcons pull it off, and they have the lead once again.
Great piece of situational hitting there by Sammy Pullman.
Great patience by Molly Hughes again in that 9-hole to get on base, take advantage of some opportunities on the base pass, and then waiting to tag up. Coach Manhart, third base coach, planned it perfectly.
Really nice job. And that's a big run.
Still a runner in scoring position for Carly Beard. Beard swings at the first pitch and fouls that one away. Carly's had sort of a quiet day at the plate, does have one base hit today. She could pull one off here, would be huge for the Falcons to go up 2.
But as McCullough has done most of this game, she finds a way to work herself ahead in the count.
Maddox on second. There's Ariel, 15-8 record on the year. Carly Beard waiting. Beard swings and tough hop.
Oh my goodness.
Carly Beard is going to be at first, and the run comes in for the Falcons. Maya Maddox crosses the plate, and it's 4-2. A huge error and the first real big one of the game.
Yeah, boy, that's unfortunate for the Vikings, the way that play played out. They got what they wanted, which was kind of a bouncing ground ball to second. Just took a bad hop with 2 outs. Maddox was off on the hit. She never stopped. And when the ball was kicked around at second, she just kept going and scored.
Now Alicia Tomberlin steps in, and you know, the second baseman, Morgan Scala, she's been so good today for St. John's River State. That one just took a really bad hop.
Yeah, it did. Took a bad hop on her. I'm sure Coach Cemento would just like her to keep the ball in front of her, so even though she can't make the play at first, she can keep the runner from scoring.
So another 2 spot on the board for the Falcons and a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Alicia Tomberlin, and another strike called on the outside part of the plate. 2 strikes now to her with 1 ball.
That's that pitch we're talking about, that which team makes that adjustment.
Comes back inside.
Yeah. Crafty pitching. Cullen doing a good job.
Yep. Softball's such a mental game, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Alicia probably doesn't know where it's coming at this point. He's probably just got to protect that outside pitch. He's been calling that a strike.
Good job to hang in there for Alicia Tomberlin. That's why she's going to UCF. Another athlete from Haggerty High School, 4.0 GPA.
Real solid student athlete.
Oh, big blast that time. Way foul, though. There are players like Tomberlin that come here to Daytona State, already great students, but maybe trying to polish up a particular thing in their game, or just maybe didn't have a good run on the recruiting trail also, Will.
Yeah, you know, it's always a variety of reasons, but it's certainly satisfying to see them come have a good experience, do well, graduate, and then move on to that next level of opportunity. McCullough's making some quality pitches here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Tomberlin still hanging in. And she'll hit this one to the right fielder. Drifting back and unable to play it is Valenta. Falcons will continue to run. Beard across the plate. It's 5-2. And again, another unfortunate defensive breakdown for the Vikings.
Yeah, it looked like that ball was just plain old misplayed out in right field. I do think the wind, when you look at the flags in the outfield, I think the wind had something to do with that. Ball was hit up in the air well, and it just kept carrying. It did hit her glove, though, so she had a chance to make the play.
Robertson now steps in for the Falcons, still with 2 outs. You almost have to feel for Ariel McCullough. She has battled so hard here today, and a couple miscues defensively, and that's really tough on a pitcher.
Yeah, she's really pitched well. I mean, she's done enough to get her team outs.
Popped up. This should do it. And it will for Daytona State as McCarl makes the grab. But the Falcons come up with 3 big ones.
That's a big inning. Go up 5-2 after the 5th inning. Vikings come up in the top of the 6th.
6th inning, here we come when we come back on WDSC TV. Daytona State Falcons a 5-2 lead over St. John's River State as we begin the 6th inning. And an entertaining game we've had today. You can look at Michelle Moore continuing to battle. She'll go into her 3rd inning here. And she came in the latter half of the 4th, pitched the entire 5th, and now trying to take care of business in the 6th. But, Will, it's been a game of adjustments. It's been a game where both teams have played a little bit nip and tuck, and it's been an overall great matchup.
Yeah, it really has. I think for the most part, both teams have played pretty clean. It was unfortunate play at second base and right field for St. John's in the last half inning. But outside of that, it's been a well-played game. And it's not over. We got 2 innings left.
Best inning of offense for Daytona State. See if they can follow it up with a good sequence in the field here as Alyssa Rosenbaum leads it off for the Vikings. A sophomore, 3.4 GPA. Another dangerous bat at the bottom of the order. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a strike called, 1-2. Michelle Moore with that little hitch in the motion. The hardest thrower amongst the pitchers. We've seen Velasquez and we've seen Chloe Anna Smith. Comes in tight that time and just misses.
Moore's been able to stay ahead in the count for the most part, but with a 3-run lead, you don't want to see any free passes.
Fouled this one back. St. John's River State dropped their last 5 games, so desperately trying to get a win here today. Not an easy place to do it here in Falcons country, though. Daytona State playing well at the moment. Rosenbaum will take her base, ball 4.
Yeah, you want to stay away from those leadoff walks.
Settle down Michelle Moore here.
Yeah, Michelle, very capable, got a lot of skill. Just got to find a way to get some balls in play, let her defense make some plays behind her.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner here. Savannah Law will see her first action today.
Be interesting to see how Coach Cemento plays this. Got 6 outs left in the game. They're down 3 runs, but a runner on first. Probably not a place you're going to want to start giving up outs when you're 3 runs behind. But we'll see how she plays it.
Swing and a miss for strike one. Do you think, Will, there's a possibility before this game is done we could see Tina Velasquez again?
Sure, she can re-enter her.
Not to hit the panic button, Moore's doing a good job, but
Sure.
because she came in a little bit early,
Yep.
and she still has a couple innings and 6 more outs, it's going to be a really tough 6 outs to work with.
Well, I think it's all hands on deck for both games today. So if they're comfortable with Moore, they'll probably stay with her and then figure out what that means for game 2. But if they get in a spot where they feel like they want to go back to Tina, I'm pretty sure they'll be comfortable with doing that.
Hit to third. Force play set up at second. The ball comes out of the mitt of Demisha Charles. Charles looked at the umpire, and I think they are going to say she was out at second.
Yeah,
okay.
So the ball got away from her on the transfer for the throw.
And this is going to get definitely a challenge from Jill Cemento, who has come over to have a conversation with our umpire on the field. Let's take one more look. Was that ball hit out of the mitt, too? I have to take one more look, perhaps, to see, and there you go. Yeah, I think it was maybe forced out of the glove by the runner. I know it happened really quick even on the replay.
She may have been bringing her glove to her hand, and I'm not sure exactly the angle the umpire had on that, but I know he was behind the play, but he did check with the home plate umpire.
So it is an out, and that's a big out. Kelsey Friend now top of the order for St. John's River State. Let's take one more look. Umpire right there had no doubt when he made the call.
So he was definitely calling the ball getting away from Demisha on the transfer for the throw, and that she had the ball for the out.
One to Kelsey Friend. She squares around, and Michelle Moore misses that time, 2-1. Let's take one more look, and this one should be definitive. Oh yeah, it just came out.
Yeah.
Count evened up at 2-2. Oh, good pitch by Moore as she attacks the river, as you've called it all afternoon, Will, and there's 2 down.
And I think that's a perfect example of the batter. She didn't make an adjustment up on the plate, and partly because she's a slapper, she's got to be careful not to step over the line that's next to the plate, or she'll be called out for that. But the ball that's being called for a strike in the river on the other side of the plate, she's not able to get to. And she knew she had to swing at it because he's been calling that a strike all game. Here's the replay again.
And meanwhile, ball is lined into left field for a base hit by Morgan Scala. So Selena Bazaris now, the big stick in the lineup, will come to the plate. Remember, the last time she came up, she swung at the first pitch out of the hands of Michelle Moore as she was facing her first batter. So this is the rematch here, and this is really going to be interesting.
Yeah, it really is. She came up before the bases loaded and a tie score of 2-2, and Michelle induced her in a ground out to third.
Will, if you are Michelle Moore right now, where are you trying to attack facing this lethal hitter here?
Well, I'm definitely working the edges. I'm not going to give her anything fat to hit because she can tie the game up.
Besares puts this one in play.
Popped it up.
Running in and making the grab is Sammy Pullman. And that will do it for another inning in which St. John's River State strands 2. So the defense comes through again for the Falcons. 5-2 is your score. We head to the bottom of the 6th when we come back on the Falcons Athletic Network. Back here at Daytona State College, Drew Felios and Will Dunn. 5-2 is your score. The Falcons leading the Vikings on this gorgeous day for softball. Daytona State getting 2 runs in the first, then 3 in the 5th. And it seems like St. John's River State has kind of been playing uphill for most of the day, but that was a huge moment as Michelle Moore in the circle for the Falcons, able to get out of a jam. Selena Besares popping it up with 2 runners on. And now it's Demisha Charles in her 3rd at-bat for the Falcons.
Yeah, Drew, that was a big out that Michelle got to end the last half inning. Ball in the gap or even through the infield would have scored at least 1 run, maybe 2.
Demisha grounded out her last time up. 2 balls, 1 strike to her here. Ariel McCullough continuing to battle in the circle for the Vikings. Charles gets a piece of one, but the ball just knocked right down. There's an example of the wind just killing anything hit hard.
Yeah, that was probably about 190 into a fierce wind.
Upcoming baseball. And it is that time of year. Guess what? Next week, we got baseball, Will. Daytona State takes on Seminole State College of Florida at 2 o'clock.
Another Mid-Florida Conference tilt conference game for the Falcons.
Cannot wait to broadcast baseball, and the conference is really tough this year, isn't it?
It really is. So much skill and talent in this league. Really quality players. But looking forward to a couple baseball games.
We gonna have you here also calling baseball with us? Please say yes. trying to pin you down. Well,
I could be.
It's been a ball.
It's always a fun time. Riley
Gore, big swing there. And this one is out of play, looks like. Yes, it is. Well, this has been definitely a lot more fun than the last softball game we had a chance to televise, as Daytona State lost 13-1 a month ago. Came back in the second game that day and won 6-3. But it's been sort of a roller coaster season for Daytona State, as we've said. But certainly talented, bright group of young ladies, and they have really brought their A game today. Struggled a little bit in the 3rd and 4th inning, locating pitches, but altogether defensively too has been outstanding compared to the last time.
The Falcons are playing very clean on defense to this point, and it certainly showed. Can't give up free outs, turn the lineup over. I want to limit how many times you see a player like Selena Besares in a game.
Riley Gore, big swing there to the third baseman. Rosenbaum takes care of it, and there's 2 down. Perfect day for softball. See the wind continuing to blow in, and we've got more baseball April 18th as the Falcons take on St. John's River State at 3 o'clock. So a couple baseball games coming at you. Tune in live on that day as we'll have the telecast. As baseball season kicking in now to high gear in the month of April, conference play certainly going to heat up. And in the first year, Will, it has been so awesome to be a part of these great broadcasts, and the crew is just doing a marvelous job.
Yeah, it's just really so exciting to be able to provide these televised broadcasts for the student athletes in the athletic program, but also for all the students that are in the television production program that are getting to have hands-on experience learning about how you put together a television production for an athletic contest. So certainly the laboratory of learning is right before us.
Yeah, those cameras getting a workout today too with that stiff wind in the outfield. Doing a great job keeping the cameras steady throughout the board. Our guys, the best of the best, doing their thing.
Really are, and certainly we appreciate them and Anita Bevins, who's their program manager and instructor, all the work that everyone does to get ready for these broadcasts, just very much appreciated by everyone here at the college.
Certainly well done. As we head to the 7th inning, one more chance for St. John's River State. They trail by 3. They come up for what could be their final at-bat next. Five to 2 your score as we head to the 7th here at Daytona State. The Barracudas in the house watching the Falcons. Daytona State putting on a show so far today. Still 3 more outs to get. And they're going to send the ace to the circle, Tina Velasquez. She started this game. She worked the first 2 innings for Daytona State. And, Will, she is back in the circle again.
Yeah, as we were talking off the air, Drew, clearly this game is pitching by committee. She started the game. Chloe Ann came in. Michelle Moore pitched a stint, and now back to Tina Velasquez. So clearly pitching by committee. I think you see 2 different philosophies where, as with St. John's River, they've gone with Ariel McCullough the whole game. So it's been a good game.
Selena Nunez leads it off for St. John's River State. So if you are the Vikings, you've seen the steady hand of Velasquez. Then you saw the junk pitcher in Smith, who obviously does a little more than that, but that drop ball is devastating. Then you've seen the hard stuff from Michelle Moore, and now you got to go back to Velasquez as a hitter. That's got to be very difficult to adjust.
Yeah, it's a challenge to make those adjustments. You have to think quick about what you're doing, because you're not getting that steady look throughout the game of one pitcher.
1-2 the count to Nunez. And Velasquez misses outside. Vikings need base runners here.
Vikings needs base runners, and the Falcons need outs.
This one's popped up. Should be the first out of the inning. And Daytona State gets it done. Robertson, the catch. Harper Robertson's played well at short. There's one away.
Good solid play by the Falcons on defense. Velasquez was able to induce the pop-up. Get an out. It's all about outs at this point for the Falcons, and the Vikings need base runners.
Megan Stone takes strike one for the Vikings. So this is the 82nd inning of work for Michelle Moore.
For Tina Velasquez.
Right, Tina Velasquez, that's right. As that one fouled off. I've got so many scratch outs on my pitcher's mound, Will.
It's hard to keep up with the scorebook on this game, isn't it?
Vikings hoping to get 3 to at least tie it. This one misses low. Oh, big pitch there. And now there's 2 down. Tina Velasquez coming up big.
That was really a quality pitch, Drew. Took a little something off it on the outside part of the plate.
And now Reagan McCarl, the final hope for St. John's River State. How about Tina Velasquez, though, the sophomore out of Puerto Rico, threw in the low 50s last year. This year, up near 60 miles per hour. Just worked her tail off. Really listens to Coach Manhart, has adjusted her game. And as the season is getting late here into late March and April, she right now is the primary arm.
Yeah, she's a spin and place kid. You know, she's going to spin the ball nice and place it where she needs to. Not going to blow it by you, but very effective. And when she works ahead in the count like she's been doing, she's very efficient as well.
2 strikes now to McCarl. And she'll hit it into left field and right at Sammy Pullman, and that will do it. Daytona State they had to battle, but they come up with a 5-2 victory over St. John's River State. The Falcons move again over 500 on the season. Coach Cemento's team will have to readjust as Daytona State with a solid outing. They got a team effort from top to bottom.
Yeah, it was a really gritty effort by the group. Played clean again on defense. Game was well pitched, not a lot of free passes. And they had some timely hitting in their quality at bats. So really the difference in the game, St. John's River, they had their share of hits and got a couple runs across, but they also didn't play quite as clean defensively. They had 3 errors, and that certainly played into the final outcome of the game. So it's a good quality win, good overall game, but a quality win for the Falcons in Mid-Florida Conference play.
How about the pitching by committee, too? Is this something that you think becomes more common throughout the rest of the season?
Well, I think it will for the Falcons for sure, just based on, some of the kids being dinged up and getting through the grind of a long season with, 50 some odd games. It kind of reduces the wear and tear as you go. So I think certainly for the Falcons, you'll see more pitch by committee. And, on the other side of the St. John's River, I think they know who their ace is, and that's who's going to continue to get the majority of their innings.
Good job by the pitchers today. Tina Velasquez, Chloe-Anna Smith, and Michelle Moore. As offensively for Daytona State, Maya Maddox outstanding. Molly Hughes at the bottom of the order. Pullman, Beard, Tomberlin, all coming up big for Daytona State. And we want to tell everybody watching, it's going to do it for us today. But if you want to come out and enjoy some softball, Daytona State College, a great place to do it well.
Yeah, another game starting in about 30 minutes at the Daytona State softball complex. So it's great weather, great day to come out and watch some college softball.
Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. For Will Dunn and our outstanding crew here at Daytona State College, I'm Drew Felios, and congratulations to the Falcons as they get it done in Game 1, 5-2 over St. John's River State. This has been Falcons Softball on WDSC TV. We'll see you next week for Daytona State Baseball. Same channel.